Here we go. Alright, welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 452. We're here discussing only 2 episodes in Ninninger today. Well, for this one anyway, this episode. We're discussing episodes 21, 22 of the series, along with basically the movies. Pretty much for original movies that aired, it's one of the movies that aired during the course of the show. I think this was the second. I just want to be sure about that because, yeah. So in the case of 21, we debut a brand spanking new character here. We teased her at the end of the previous episode. She's brought in. So we have this madam who just happened to be the main villain's wife. You're like, really? Oh yeah, really. Because I should point out that in Power Rangers, they didn't have to do this. They didn't have to have his counterpart, Madame Odious, pour a gourd of water fear on top of a mask. In that one, she was simply brought in to be a servant of Madame Odious, and of course, basically, she apparently was in love with somebody who in the Sentai was actually her son. Weird. But that's Power Rangers for you. Yeah, they make weird changes like this. Sometimes, basically, you have characters who are clearly related in the Sentai, and yet or at least in the case of original footage, they're related. And then you get over to the American footage, they're not related at all. There's no mention of it at all. But he comes later, so... yeah, and she kind of in a way takes charge. Yeah, basically... and this is kind of interesting. She makes debut in episode 21, where she kind of takes over for the chief retainer. Yes. Which is interesting, the fact that she took over for him, because he's a retainer. You would think basically that he was kind of surprised to see that Charisma basically revived her. Okay, I'm gonna find out her name. Give me just a minute here with that. If I get this page to work properly. Okay. So her name is Arenki no Kanta. That is her name. She is pretty much here from this point until pretty much the end of the series. The end of the season anyway, the series anyways. Yeah, she only misses 2, 3, 4. Yeah, of the remaining 27 episodes for the series, she only misses 5. Which... it's not bad for her to do. No. Heck, she only lasts as long as a retainer. So basically she creates a monster using a stealing shuriken to transform a purse into a dream stealing thing. Steals dreams like stealing a dream for wedding. And there's also a subplot in here where so also in this first episode where Keen gets his ninja uniform for the first time. And plus also they do update the opening title sequence for this one, which is quite nice. Because first just him inserting himself, now he basically he's just a new student now. Okay, so he gets his new thing, and of course basically where they have the first lesson taught by him, by having him try to catch everybody else, because he knows the more advanced techniques but not the basics. So he practices as also a kid who's practiced to be a baseball player, which, yeah, a baseball player. And surprisingly, and this is interesting, the villain for this one is not a baseball monster. Is the episode involve baseball? Yes. Oh, by the way, the name of the character in Super Ninja Steel is Smelliphant. Yeah. Yeah, Stealing Dreams eventually turns to a baseball episode. You're probably thinking, like, does this series have any baseball themed monsters? I'm looking at it right now. I don't think there is one. There is a keyboard monster. That's a first. Let's see. I'm trying to look right now to see if there's actually like a baseball themed monster. Because normally put a Sentai over the years, they love their baseball monsters. It is by far one of the most popular monsters. I'm still looking, see if they have like, let's see. Do we have a baseball monster? Surprisingly, no baseball monsters. Yeah. Because the normal trope with Sentai, we have a baseball themed episode, and the monster is basically a baseball themed monster. Not the case this one, but Stealing Dreams. And then we have a baseball game, which was ninja stuff, and of course ninjas obviously win. They do beat the monster, and by the way, he does actually steal Red's dream, and then for some weird reason, after he get Red and the kid's dream back, and all everybody else. He then steals Red's dream again, along with all the rest of them, except for Star. Which, it is weird that his dream does not get stolen. So you might think, is this his episode? I would say kind of. This is basically his episode. Yes, Red does kind of. Well, do I think this is him taking over the episode? Not really, no. I had to keep bringing this up because of Shira's reviews, basically, of him saying, oh, constantly stealing people's episodes. This one, I don't think so. Mostly put is basically him, yeah, he helps pretty much save the day, but I don't think he stole the episode. It's still basically Star's episode. But that's it for that one. So then comes, you're probably thinking, what comes next? Well, the second movie of the series. You're like, really? Yeah, but it's the first, well, it's not a crossover, it's basically where, well, here's kind of the thing with this one. This movie was loosely adapted for Dimensions in Danger. You're like, what? Yeah, it was. They brought the villain. The fortress print in this episode was actually his in Power Rangers. And he fought the other Rangers. Something he did not do here at all. Yeah, they adapted Dimensions in Danger to fight footage in the story. Though the story was changed in this one. In the case of Dimensions in Danger, it's him trying to conquer dimensions. Here, Like, they do keep the fact that if you watch this movie and you watch Lord Draven, he's still an archer in both. They do make some small changes here, per se. Like, for instance, where the castle came from. Because in Power Rangers, it was another dimension. Here, it's in the same universe. And it's controlled by a feudal lord who turns to a dinosaur. Well, I heard the feudal lord and like, wait a minute, it's the 21st century. Japan doesn't have feudal lords. According to this movie, it apparently does. Which I still think that's kind of weird. The fact we also have a ninja village in the 21st century like this. I'm like, what is it? I'm guessing probably the reason for this whole entire movie. Here is my personal theory of why this happened. And this is my personal theory on the matter. I think the reason why they did this movie because Naruto was popular. Yeah, still popular. I think at the time, when I looked up, basically, I remember look at the airing the episodes. I believe they were still in the fourth. I think they had just finished Fourth Great Ninja War, and they're actually in their last season of the show. So that's probably the feudal lore thing came in. I guess they threw in the feudal lore thing because they're ninjas. They must work for a feudal lord. Yeah, and he's also a dinosaur when they find him. Now, the scene itself, how they rescue him, and I'm like, yeah, I remember seeing this movie before in Dimension of Danger, except it had the box in Power Rangers. That was actually arrows. Here, it's basically a guy in a dinosaur suit. Yes, who is very depressed, does not give a damn at all. And it's clearly a guy in a suit. Yes, seriously, I can tell easily by... You can't see the guy himself, but you can easily see the head is basically a mask. I mean, something is supposed to be a feature movie. Like, they couldn't exactly... I mean, it looks fine, but... They couldn't afford to spend a little bit more money on that. I like the look of the villain. Yeah, I like the way he looks. And plus, I love his really cool effect at one point in the movie where he makes his bow into two swords. I thought that was really cool. So, the ninja are tasked by their grandfather to rescue the Lord, who's hiding in a black box. So you have basically Taka and Fuka break into this damn place. Actually, not Fuka, it's actually Naga. It's Katsumi. So they break in, and they look around. Here comes basically Jinka. That's the middle of the movie. And I'm like... Now, basically, there was actually a change here when they made this over the mention, because I remember this really well, because I watched the episode some time ago. And I remember when I was watching this movie, I remember, they made changes here, because here the Rangers have a suit. In the actual episode, the Rangers actually are in suit. So, then they break in, brief fight basically in the Sentai base, in the Power Ranger Draven, here's Jaka, and they go in their room, and then you have Pink tying up the Red Ranger on top of the box, and then you have Blue with his dragon, bring him out, and in Power Rangers the thing was shot down. Here is basically dragged away to their dojo. And I saw them like, that footage was taken from this movie for that episode. And, by the way, the arrows in the box in the actual episode itself were given to Draven in the story by Madame Odious, Yelzamon's counterpart, who was made into a woman for some reason. Despite the fact it's a guy. I have no idea why in the world they turned clearly a male character into a woman. It is quite bizarre, to say the least. So, then he's like depressed, and apparently Taka is tasked to keep an eye on him. Well, else basically finds out basically this guy's invading the fortress. Apparently he really wanted the fortress so badly, because secret about this cool dinosaur stuff. So, they have Taka hang out with Dinosaur Lord, and then he has to leave him with his father, who, well, technically, even yes, you could think of it as abandoning his post, protecting the Lord. In a way, he's still under protection from his father. Yeah, he may not have a Nepo in him, but he can still basically fight if he wants to. But the thing is, the only reason why he felt basically safe leaving him there is because the villains do not know who the dojo is. Well, they know of the dojo, except they apparently don't know its location, probably due to the fact that all the grunt Sentai place were all destroyed, so they couldn't question him. They couldn't ask him, like, hey, do you happen to know where Ninninger's base is? Well, they were destroyed, so we don't get to answer that question. So then he shows up after everybody escaped via, like, underground. So apparently to break the curse is to cut off the horn of this Zord. Yes, seriously. So then he's about to get... So apparently the reason why he's a dinosaur is because he's using a Shuriken. I'm like, where the heck did that come from? Good question. So he's about to give it to the Rangers when, of course, he's infected by a cursed arrow, which transforms this guy into a dinosaur Zord, which, of course, they break him out of things to chop off his horn, which begs the question what can he do when he was normal sized. Well, I'm going to be saved by his people. So then they combine with the thing that and by the way, they even copied the scene here. They use the scene where you have Jika, that's the guy's name. He fires an arrow up in the sky and it creates like a special effect. In Power Rangers, when he does this, he fires it up in the sky and it cracks the sky, basically breaking dimensions. I'm only comparing to the episode itself because I get deja vu basically for some certain stuff, and because it's Ninja Steel Surf. And I've seen the episode several times, so that's why how I know that. So then he's defeated by the combined new mech for the movie, and then they dance. Movie over. It was actually pretty good. And then comes 22, which is basically where, let's come up with a brand new combination mech. Let's combine our 3 mechs into one. First we did the 2-in-1, now we do the 3-in-1. They tried the first time, doesn't work. And they say, it's because of Cloud, and it's because of Yano and Keen. They apparently like each other for some reason, despite the fact they get along each other fine. I guess not enough chemistry per se, so they try using the thing, doesn't work. And then and then Lino decides to joke around by having one of the girls put on the outfits. Like, Fuka says no, but Kasami says yes. So she gets the outfit out of suit. I thought this was kind of funny. And then, of course, basically, Yaga keeps it, and the whole thing, this one's like, we need to get her more fear. And also the fact that the madam is not happy. Like, she's like, I want to keep up with my beauty. So by dumping her face with the fear water, and Kazuma's like, no, don't do that. We don't have very much. I mean, I used someone to revive the two of you and the general who's a straight episode 12, but so create more fear by, expectations. Okay? And then the whole thing becomes basically focused on Keen and Yano, which they overcome their expectations, and we even have where the madam is fighting the Rangers. I thought this was quite cool. You have kind of in the way the new lead villain here, and she's fighting the Rangers. Can you think of any time who was before this where you have a top leader fighting out in the field in their second appearance? I thought that was really cool. Yep. I'm surprised the guys didn't comment on their outfits. Yeah, very nice looking outfits. Though, of course, basically, they do in fact beat the monster. Thanks to using Blue and Star as swords to slice him up, and then he gets destroyed. And then they finally able to combine 3 by having a top go up, and of course they have the 2 flip him around, and that's how the combination happens. Okay, interesting. And then they finally destroyed the monster, and in the episode, like, keep it on as we get stronger. And the guy's like, "Oh, am I a pet now?" Yeah, but good. Yeah, the episodes are pretty good. I like the movie, though I do question why in the world is feudal lord in the 21st century. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Well, it's getting kind of late, so I'm going to see you all tomorrow, where I probably capping this out tomorrow, okay? Next view. Bye.